at Crystalline Addiction. This is by Zancake, a name I'm actually not too familiar with in the mapping community. Apologies if I'm forgetting you from previous events or so. As the week goes on, we learn more about the mappers, which is always awesome as well. I dare you to make an Oracle. Well, we'll talk about why that's funny in just a moment, guys. Welcome to our very first match of the day on Crystalline Addiction. To the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player from Asterion Esports is Harstem. And he's going up against the red Protoss to the top left side of the map, Goblin. Now, I want to also just quickly point out there's a $4,000 prize pool, $3,300 given out to all 20 participants based on their performance, and $700 for you guys in the chat to vote on who gets it, based on the coolest players based around a feature of the map. So if you see something that happens that's cool because of the way the map works, you get yourself a clip of that, you submit it, bonus points if you're the person who clips the winning submission. And obviously you're helping the players out as well by clipping those. So let us see. Okay, what's this, guys? Welcome to our first map of the day. This is challenge number 2. I love this. This map must suck for Zergs. Blizzard doesn't nerf in Zergs, so the map makers decided to help us. These missile turrets attack both players. They don't just attack the one side, they don't just attack the other, they attack both players, which means these bases are very safe by air. Good luck trying to fly a Liberator across the map, good luck trying to fly a Medevac across the map, not going to happen. So you got to be very careful with that. Now, I'm pretty sure you can just walk through here. I'm not sure why that initial probe is going around the south side instead. He is going to end up on this opponent's base. Maybe it's actually a bit faster to come through this way, actually. Maybe it's actually not too much different. Which is interesting because there's a gold base here. It's actually a very interesting map in general. Obviously, as the week goes by, we're live every day for the next week, by the way, of map contest tournament action. As the week goes by, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of interesting features in terms of, well, how people use this gold base. How do they defend it? What expansion patterns do we see being used? Do we expand over here because it's safe by air? This map in general reminds me a little bit of Battle on the Boardwalk in the sense that there's very narrow pathways to each side of the map, and that means that it's actually very easy to split this map for this map to go long. So that's something that we could definitely look towards here and kind of, just remember as something that could happen as the groups go by this week and as we get into the playoffs at the end of the week. Goblin actually just forced a cancel on that pylon as both players, interestingly enough, are going to go Stargate. I can't really say that Stargate's a great idea on this one with all of these missile turrets between the two bases, but hey, let's see what the plan will be. What's up, TLO, with the host? 1,000 of you joined us here via TLO to start off the day. Thank you so much for joining us, and hope you're all having a great time. I just did the intro of what this is, but very quickly, once again, it's the Team Liquid map contest. This is the WardiTV tournament phase of it, and it's our third one we've done. There's lots of money on the line, there's some really fun maps, and we've got some really great players as well. So thank you so much, Dario, for the host. Hope you guys are all doing well, and well, let's watch Harstem as he pushes up this ramp, gets a Stalker for a Stalker. The Adepts could shade beyond, though, and that does obviously open up some aggression. A Phoenix here from Goblin is going to have to be rallied very carefully because that's a missile turret, too. It was turning. It wants to hit it. Man, this is crazy that they both decided to play into Stargate. Now, Harstem makes an Oracle. An Oracle which actually can't go through the top side of the map here because of those missile turrets. I'm not sure what his plan is. Maybe just hiding from the Phoenix for now. The Phoenix lifts up a Stalker, though, and Harstem is going to lose this Goblin with a higher army supply pushing forwards. Warp Gate is done, and we do see the first 2 Warp Gates coming in as Goblin will hold the low ground. Twilight Council now done as well. That Oracle still hidden to the top. Can't really go anywhere. Actually, where did the Oracle go? There it is. It is now making its way through the middle of the map. But there's going to be another Phoenix at home. In fact, there's going to be another Phoenix right here already waiting. Never mind another in production. Harstem having a little bit of trouble right now as he's probably going to have to give up his natural. He does have these 2 Adepts on the other side, which the Stalkers and the Phoenix are a little bit preoccupied with. And he will get some kills here, which is actually very important, I think. Because if he doesn't get some kills here, he's obviously in a bit of trouble with how much damage Goblin is doing across the map. He's finally bringing those Stalkers back home, though, and it looks as though we're going to be safe for the moment. Now, the Twilight Council has started a blink, so the blink is already on the way through, as we do see more of these Stalkers gathering together and starting to push through the center of the map. So, again, Goblin looking to be the aggressor, has the economy deficit, but the army supply lead. Now, Harstem just resetting his pylon on the low ground. We already had this pylon that was here that was killed off. Another one being built, and because of the lack of a pylon, it means he can't actually build a shield battery at the moment. So Goblin definitely our underdog in this group. Really has a moment or two here to get something done. Probes will pull in. Harstem knows he can use these probes to help defend, and that's exactly what he's going for. Kills one of the Phoenix. Stalkers on the low ground now as well, starting to continue to fall. 2 Stalkers remain. The probes pull back. Harstem still has an 8-worker advantage. Another Stalker warps in. That'll be hugely important. This shadow here is really triggering me, by the way. I keep thinking it's like something coming down from the high ground, so I'm sat here and I see this and I'm like, whoa, what's coming down from the high ground? No, it's just this little ventilator fan making a little bit of an annoying bit of shadow on the natural expansion. Anyways, some 4 Stalkers from Harstem are once again on the forefront of this and trying to just push this back. And he should be able to, even with the Phoenix count here. He's on to 5 Stalkers. He looks okay. Blink's on the way through as well, and that will help. Although 2 more Stalkers from his opponent here. Harstem's not out of trouble just yet. Remember that with the Blink in play, you know, that can be negated to some extent by the by the way in which the Phoenix can just lift up Stalkers and kind of stop them from moving at all. Probes pull in again. Harstem knows that these probes are somewhat replaceable as long as he doesn't die right here, and he does continue to die. We're now going to be seeing the Stalkers continue to push this back off over to the left-hand side, as we have Harstem. Again, a successful defense to start this off now, and we do see him going into a Forge 2. He'll be primarily on Stalkers for a while, but starting up that charge upgrade, and wouldn't be surprised to see a Robo facility in the near future as well. Meanwhile, Goblin is just sat, and he's just going to be heading back home. Now, he still has these Phoenix, but boy, does he have to be careful with those. We haven't seen any victims to the missile turrets just yet, but I'm very excited to see just how they may come into play very soon as Harstem forces these Phoenix up through the top side. Goblin is the first to take a hit from that missile turret, but he doesn't lose anything, not just yet. So that's going to be important to keep in mind here. Alright, well, a few more of these Phoenix backing off over to the left-hand side. They're going to be set back in just a few moments. And you will see the shield batteries just helping to heal them up here towards the end. Now, charge is about halfway done. We do have 2 gateways of Harstem just coming up on the right-hand side of the main base. So again, continuing to go into a very gateway-heavy force now. His Robo facility finishing 2 obviously opens up some opportunities for him as well, as we will have these Stalkers just patrolling around the main base, having a little bit of a dance here, figuring out just what they want to get going for themselves. More Phoenix, though, from Goblin back over to the right-hand side, and Harstem with an Observer about to pop will start to head over to the left. So Observer starting to head over to the left, 6 extra gates. That's a lot of gateways, and now we see why, because he's going straight to Templar Archives too, so he's going to need that gateway production to really build High Templar, to build Archons, which is apparently going to be his, his way of kind of tacking up into the mid-game. Phoenix push back again. It is interesting, because you know what? If Harstem pushes through the top side of the map, these Phoenix will not be able to do anything in terms of chasing them for that few moments. That would be intriguing, as we're going to see Stalkers blinking forwards, and there was Phoenix just getting pushed away. A few more Stalkers continuing to gather together. Another High Templar or 2 will warp on in on the natural, and again, blinking in, going to grab themselves a Phoenix kill. So nicely killed off here, and again, just finding some shutdowns when they can. Love the High Templar, not morphing into Archons just yet, because they would like to be able to get a couple of feedbacks off before they go. What are those marks on the map? These are the... I'm assuming you're meaning these, which is the anti-turrets. The neutral turrets, they shoot both things. It's crazy. By the way, is this pathway blocked as well? So it's kind of like a little bit choky up here too? Okay, interesting. That's a really intriguing pathway. I'm not sure if it's just really going to be used at all. But I guess he has to have something to cover. It's just missile turrets between the mains, right? So, interesting. Anyways, we do see these Phoenix continue back down to the bottom side. Now we do see Harstem getting ready to attack. He has charge. And as he has charge, he's also going to have these Archons. His Stalkers are a little bit later to the fray, but they have Blink, so they will catch up here eventually. And as we do get this attack ready to go in towards this top side, I mean, we see our Protoss player Goblin is expanding up towards this gold, which I think is the right decision in general. Zealots have already started to charge on forward, so the extra Archons get here, and with the Stalkers getting ready to blink in. These Phoenix have just flown over some turrets, so some turrets just picked up some kills, actually, which is obviously pretty great. And let's just get a quick rewind on that, just to show you guys these Phoenix flying over turrets to try and get back in time. Around about here should do it. Oh, no, I just need to go back an extra second or two. And, yeah, let's just watch this again. These are, a lot of you asking in the chat, what are these red marks? They are neutral turrets. They fight everything. As we will see, those Phoenix flew over. Research on the map makers, because these maps came out last night at about 1 AM, and, well, I was casting already today, so not so much I could do, unfortunately, in that regard. Now, again, this is going to be best of 2. as we get into this second game. Let me just actually add the best of 2 to this thing, which basically just means 2 maps played. We'll just write 2 maps played because it'll trigger less people, because people really can't get over the concept of best of 2, it feels like, a lot of the time. Alright, layout, if we rotate it this way. Beautiful. And we just have to make it a bit smaller, like that. And drag it over into position. Needs to be a bit smaller still. Does 2 maps even work? That'll do. Beautiful. Alright, apparently opinions are different. Sorry, I've not been keeping up with the chat as we get into game 2 of this. I wish it looked different on the map. Yeah, it is a bit distracting, all the red on the map. I imagine if you play against a little bit of like a red player, it would be a little bit distracting. All right, so let's get this going. Let's see what happens. Harstem top left and Goblin bottom right. Let's have a look around Ritual Mubi Temple, which, well, straight up just says, don't fly this way, guys. Yes, we do not want you flying this way at all. And also, man, these turrets are scary. I mean, you can imagine a Terran player walking around the map and just losing medevacs, just even trying to kind of come around here. And I feel that's going to be very frustrating to play against. Especially when we see some Terran players, not today, but later in the tournament on other days coming on through. So that'll be very interesting to see. And obviously Zerg players are not going to have fun with Overlords, Mutalisks, or any styles like that. Going to be interesting. Thank you very, very much to MacArius thank you so much for the 100 bits on Macri USD as well, potentially. Thank you so much for the 100 bits in the chat. SC2 is great. You're great as well. Thank you so much. Alright, so Stargate is on its way up in the main base here of Goblin again. He's not turned away by these neutral turrets and the fact that they can just shoot these out of the sky so easily. So I'm intrigued to see what the Stargate play brings from both players again here. It just means they have to be very careful where they rally their units, where they send them to, and all of that, as you do see a couple Stalkers coming down the low ground. They'll be gathering up, and they actually will go for a probe here, picking up that kill nice and quickly. So nice quick pick up there on that. Alright, sorry guys, just keeping the tournament running off on the other screen as well, getting ready for True Rain, or it's going to be our series after this. If you're not aware, there's a 5-player group: Goblin, Harstem, Puck representing Protoss, and True Rain representing the Zergs. Get a couple of the mirror matches out of the way to start the day, then we'll have a whole chunk of PvZ action as well to test these maps out, as we'll see a Phoenix going to be popping out very shortly. And ready to go to the left-hand side. So you can fly up this left. This is what I was wondering about. Can you fly up the left-hand side? And you can. It's just you can't go... you still have to control it somewhat to kind of figure out which way you want to go. And we do see the Phoenix is on the way out here from Harstem. Is going to be coming along and already found the first Oracle. I mean, that's kind of painful. The first Oracle goes down without much gain. The second Oracle, I imagine, will be on its way up as well very soon. Well, he was on the way up. He actually cancelled it. I wouldn't have imagined he wanted to keep it, and he did cancel it. So I think the correct decision made there. And as Goblin will continue to get himself set up and ready to go. Can turrets be killed? They do have health, so I guess you can kill them off. It's something which I didn't even consider myself. But how do you get high ground vision to kill them without just losing? What's crazy as well is they also detect. As Goblin is going to find some high ground vision, he starts to kill the turret, decides to leave it be for the moment. Apparently he wants it there. I'll keep this turret. I mean, obviously for Goblin, he's moving away from the sky units, whereas Harstem is keeping his Phoenix. And as he's keeping his Phoenix in play, it's better if these turrets are on the map from Goblin's point of view, because obviously Goblin would kind of like it if... Goblin would kind of like it if Harstem accidentally flies his Phoenix in towards a set of turrets. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, we do see these Phoenix actually coming forwards, and Stalkers maybe actually a better one to say coming forwards, coming through and getting a good couple of shots off, bringing a couple of units low. Robotics facility on the way up on the natural expansion as well, and these Stalkers continuing to be chased away towards the upper left-hand side. So actually Harstem is again going to find himself under early pressure potentially. Now as Phoenix came across the map, he will get a few probes out of this. Well, he could have got a few probes. He actually just recalls. To be fair, actually, it might be much safer to recall, because by recalling here, it allows him to have these Phoenix at home to lift up the Stalkers. And obviously, because well, why doesn't he just lift the probes then recall? Well, then he doesn't have the energy to lift up the Stalkers defensively. And that would kind of suck. Apparently, Goblin is not having a great time with the turrets at the moment. You can see this probe continue to come down towards the bottom side, and I'm interested to see what Harstem actually wants a probe out front for, maybe just to keep track of things. Phoenix was not a good idea, says Harstem. Realizing later, so far, don't think we've seen any plays using the turrets or anything like that to start to discuss the $700 bonus prize, which is given out to the players who are most creative with the new maps and the layouts and the features of these new maps. Again, out of a $4,000 prize pool, $3,300 is given out based on placement in the tournament, but $700 is kept towards a vote and a kind of a voting phase where the best players using the maps will be voted upon, and you guys will be able to kind of take part in that as well. So that should be a lot of fun, something new we've added for this version of the tournament. And also, I mean, we've completely changed up the way the groups work too. It's become a little bit different. 5-player groups instead of 4-player groups. Best of 2s instead of best of 3s gives us just a couple maps more. It's interesting. It's fun. It's funky. I personally like it. I think it'll be fun. By the way, I did miss a resub as well. Ragmuffin, dude, sorry so much. Just a little bit stressed getting the tournament off and running here today. Thanks so much for the 8-month resub, saying Wardy is the best. Dude, thank you so much. Even though I forgot your resub and to mention it for a little while. Do appreciate the 8 months. Love your support. Thanks for the kind words as well. Glad you're enjoying. Now look at that. That's not just a bunch of... Good job, Harstem. Great, great use of the map. he avoided the turrets to scout the base. Yeah, a little bit of a funky moment right there as we are going to see these couple of Mauls working their way through these rocks, obviously opening up a pathway. These guys having a little bit of fun with each other, discussing the lack of success with the Phoenix that Harstem's had here. While pushing forward, he also has to look after this Warp Prism to some extent. Stalkers are going to run in. Well, actually, it's the Stalkers that get the Warp Prism, not the missile turrets. Another Immortal, though. Those Stalkers on cooldown actually can't blink away just yet. And that Immortal picks up a bunch of kills. Wow, it goes down, but only 4 Stalkers remaining from all of this. Obviously not great. Well, the Stalkers continue to be chased down by a few of these Zealots, moving away in towards the center of the map. And we are going to have 4 more gateways on the way up from Goblin in the main. So 4 more gates coming through here, and a few more probes continue to come on up, and we will just have Zealots, Archon, Stalkers, all of this gathering and thinking about what he wants to do. I like this, just a couple of Zealots to go and deal with that third base that's hidden away off to the right-hand side. I didn't even notice this for a while because it's the same color as the turrets. The turrets really need to be a neutral color as well, like gray or something, like a color that isn't really used. I know you can have black if you play, like, if you select it, but I think, like, a gray would be okay. Then I guess it becomes hard to see on the mini-map on some maps, though. It's an interesting issue, isn't it? If you want to add something of importance on note to the map, then maybe they just have a... I don't know. I think it's just because there's so many of them in one place. Like, I think the symbol alone, if there's just one symbol to denote there's a cluster of turrets there, it would work a lot better. Anyways, we are going to be seeing a push up this Ramzard Stalkers, a fake Colossus as well. Obviously, the important units in the back are the Archons and the Immortals, and they are firing away right now. We do see Harstem. He's actually holding the lines with his Zealots, man. He's really clumped up, though. It's difficult for him to get up here. He's also down in an attack upgrade, which hurts, but he has more tech-based units. The extra Archons, the similar number of Immortals, very important at the moment. Yes, we are going to be seeing these couple repositioning. So one Zealot over here might actually get shut down by a couple of other warping in Zealots, but I'm not sure if that's an issue right now. I don't think Harstem really needs to push into this much more aggressively than he already is doing either. I mean, you sit back right now, you're already, doing okay because, hey, the third base is up for yourself. This third base obviously isn't mine at all, even if you didn't kill it just yet. Goblin is continuing with his upgrades, though. He's about to get +3 attack, and that's going to make a huge difference. A 2-upgrade lead? Well, that's going to be fantastic. As we do have the few probes getting picked off here and there. It's these probes that were actually trying to get to this base being found. It looks as though Harstem will once again be on his way towards shutting this down. I think a little bit of an issue though. A couple more zealots warping in means he doesn't quite have the numbers. And again, he just sits on this low ground here. As long as this base isn't fully saturated, Harstem is fine. He's 18 workers ahead. His own third base is going along nicely. He's got the gases running on it too. And we are just going to be having, well, another Archon on the way up at the moment. So just continue to set himself up. He sends a larger wave of zealots towards this base. Wants to shut down any and all mining which he can. Warp Prism play from Goblin has brought his units to the right-hand side, so he's going to come in for a flanking maneuver here onto Harstem's army. Harstem, is he ready for this? Perhaps not. He whoops in a bunch of zealots here right away to try and help out. He starts to kite backwards. He needs these zealots to really kind of help him in the front lines. The Archon's trading blows, and even though Goblin has a +3 attack upgrade over +1, it doesn't seem to be enough to matter at the moment. Another warp and Harstem should be ready any second now, and those extra zealots will go a long way. Well, army supplies are evening out a little bit here. Harstem has to lift up and leave, but he flies into the missile turrets. Oh my god, Goblin! Alright guys, the missile turrets are having much more of an effect than I ever thought they would in the very first series of the day. Again, not all of the maps are like this. In fact, there's only 3 or 4 maps from the entire tournament that are under this section of the tournament, which is challenge number 2, neutral missile turrets. So we're actually not going to have any more of these for a little while, most likely. But it is kind of amusing watching them have such an impact on the games. As we are going to be seeing, continuing forwards here, Goblin will now have all the advantages. Now he has an army supply lead. Now he has the +3 against +1. He really didn't look good at the start of that last fight, but it really worked out for him over time. This Goblin will start a pressure on forwards. Harstem is splitting up in a couple different directions here as well. Cannon starting to work its way through a Zeld or so. It's going to be seeing Harstem obviously playing defensively for the moment here, and we are going to be having these Archons continue to gather together. Goblin just getting a few more warp pins set up and ready to go, keeping on the pressure now. Here we go. I mean, Goblin's going to try and push up this ramp. It's not a good position with shield batteries involved. Now he sees Zealots charging in. Maybe Harstem can hold. The upgrade disadvantage is now only +2 to +3 as well. And Harstem looks as though he's going to push this away. Warp Prism will not go through the turrets for Goblin though. That's not going to happen this time around. And we are going to be seeing Goblin is able to back away at least. But man, he only really saved Stalkers and a couple of Mortals. Harstem coming out of that with a lot of Archons back in the army supply lead. Unfortunately, Goblin just not quite making this work just yet. Thank you very much, by the way, Lord Strad, who comes in with a fresh new subscription on the channel. Do appreciate the support. And Sir Million 1K with a Twitch Prime sub as well. 2 subs in 1 game. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate the support. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Couple of extra Zealots warping in right now as you see the Warp Prism is on the way up, being Chrono boosted out. Harstem having to replace this after the earlier issue which he walked into. Apparently he's killed. It looks like he's killed a couple of these missile turrets here, so yes, players starting to kill some of these here and there. Harstem will hold the watchtower, and we're going to see another push down the left hand side. So again, you can kill these missile turrets, it's just not easy to kill them because you need high ground vision, and that's maybe one of the issues we are going to be seeing. Well, Harstem's still setting up to push on in now. Well, he has had an economy advantage for a long time, remember, and that's why Goblin had to look to do something when he pushed across the map previously. But as Harstem held, now that income lead has really turned into something different. As we're going to be seeing Harstem with a few more units, and he should just be getting ready for one big push in. I think he's maybe a little bit afraid to bring his Warp Prism forwards, and he's also waiting for +3 attack. 30 seconds away, while Chrono Boosted is obviously a little bit less. No reason for him to go for that any sooner than he needs to, though. Again, these units gathering down towards the bottom left-hand side. A few more units from Harstem warping in here. Archon will start to come on through, and a couple of Zealots starting up as well. And here we go, pushing forwards right now. Harstem has his +3 seconds away, so he is ready to take this fight. And we've seen this sort of position before. Misato will get a hit onto the Warp Prism, and Harstem's just going to go straight up into the natural expansion. That means his opponent has to run up a ramp to get to him here, and obviously that choke point is going to be so detrimental for Zealots trying to gain surface area. The Archons are going to block the way. The Zealots will be massacred, and Goblin unfortunately will go down. A fun game though from Goblin, a fun first series of the day from him. Harstem will take the 2-0, the first 2 points of the day for himself to move on forwards. Even when the map is helping me, I can't win. GG. Harstem takes the 2-0.